Welcome to RJ Boxing SC. Today we're going to be talking about Usyk v Fury fight.
Welcome. This is the big one, people. The one we've all been waiting for quite a long time now. Fury versus Usyk for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. The first time this has happened in 25 years. They're both unbeaten. They both look unbeatable when they're at their best. So it's going to be a very hard one to pick and break down, but me and Rav are going to give it our best as always. Let's go. Let's start talking about each fighter's strengths. As I said, when they're both at their best, they're both close to unbeatable. So they've got a lot of strengths either side, both of these guys. Rav's going to start by talking about Fury. So Rav, what do you think Fury's strengths are as a fighter and what are his advantages over Usyk in this fight?
Fury's strengths as a fighter, he can adapt his fighting approaches. So he can switch stances. And he uses different fighting styles for different fighters, which Usyk can't do. So that's an advantage to Fury. Also, he's got the height advantage and the reach advantage. Fury's got great heart and great stamina, which the heart comes in on the later on in rounds where he really digs deep and gets them victories, where he scores the points or rather gets the KO.
So yeah, Rav just gave you Fury's strengths and advantages coming into this fight. I'm going to talk about Oleksandr Usyk. His main strengths, it's a surprising one really when he's going up against Tyson Fury, but the movement of Usyk could be a strength and advantage coming into this one. Now, a lot of people will think, oh, Tyson Fury is one of the best moving heavyweights of all time, which was true a couple years back and probably is still true now, but he's up against Usyk, who might be the quickest and best mover of all time at heavyweight. When you look at for how big he still is, because he's not a tiny man, just because he's small compared to Fury, he's 6'3" still though, which is still a big man. He weighs about 16.5 stone now. But the way he moves his feet in and out, the way he keeps his head moving, constantly moving off in that southpaw stance, a bit like a bigger version of Lomachenko, a heavyweight Lomachenko, some people might say. That is going to be a big advantage for him coming into this one, because Tyson Fury trying to walk him down ain't going to be able to pin him down like he did against Deontay Wilder and other slower, bigger heavyweights like that. So there you've got the movement, you've got the work rate. Tyson Fury, again, as Rav said, got good stamina, will keep going for the 12 rounds, but can he keep up with the work rate of Oleksandr Usyk? People have called him a bunny rabbit, people have called him a wasp in there, because he's constantly pop, 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 in his jab, stepping off, popping, 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 non-stop with the punching. So that's another big advantage right there. And another one I've got to say is form. When you look at how he's performed in his last few fights and who he's fought, Anthony Joshua twice and Daniel Dubois, that's 3 fights at world level. Tyson Fury's been in there with an absolute shit show with Ngannou, Chisora before that, who he shouldn't have been fighting, nowhere near world level, and Dillian Whyte. And before that, Dillian Whyte, which was a good win, a good knockout with the uppercut, but even Dillian Whyte, a world level fighter, but nowhere near the elite level of skill that Oleksandr Usyk has. So Usyk's been fighting the bigger men, been fighting guys who aren't as good as Tyson Fury, aren't that similar, but are similar in size and level, whereas Fury's never fought anybody like Oleksandr Usyk. So I think that's an advantage of strength for Usyk coming into this one too. Predictions just yet, but I think you can tell by the way we're talking who we both think are going to win and that we're going against each other in this one. But first, we're going to give you now the weaknesses of each fighter. Rav now is going to give us Oleksandr Usyk's weaknesses. So what do you think about that, Rav?
So Usyk's weaknesses are obviously his body shots. Obviously you saw his last fight, Daniel Dubois give him a low body shot. And obviously, so it shows he's got weakness in his lower body. And obviously his other weaknesses is obviously his size as well. He's 6'3", so he's one of the smallest heavyweights in boxing.
So Rav, do you think that Tyson Fury is going to take advantage of this? Is he going to try and bust Usyk's body up and not really try and lean on him? Do you think that's what he's going to try?
Yeah, I think that's what he's going to do, yeah. I think he's really going to utilise his power in this, and he's going to try and, I think he's going to try and get him out early, if he can, but he's going to work the head and the body, so he's going to try and come in close. I know he's tall, he ain't really going to try picking off, he's going to come in tight and hold him, and really get hold of him and stick them body shots in and uppercuts. I think Fury's weaknesses are coming into this fight.
So I think he's got 3 main weaknesses coming into this one. Obviously, massive story. The fight was postponed because of the cut he suffered in sparring. I think that's something we've really got to look at. I don't know if it would be a massive hindering to Fury actually in the fight. I think he's that type of crazy guy. He's even said himself he hopes it gets open in round 1 so he can have a proper bloody war. We've seen him cut before in the 1-in fight. It didn't affect him. The reason I think, though, it could be a weakness causing thing for him is that he would have had to adapt his sparring, and like the sparring wouldn't have been as aggressive. He might not even have sparred anywhere near as much because he's got to be so paranoid and worried about that cut opening because he knows he cannot pull out of this one again. So I think it could have affected his training camp, which makes that cut a weakness in this one. But if he sparred well and he gets in a fight fit, then I don't think the cut, even if it does open up, will affect him in the fight because Tyson Fury is a warrior. Rav said about his mindset and heart earlier in the fight. Now, his second weakness is another type of cut, but it's a weight cut. We know Fury cuts a lot of weight in between fights all of the time. That catches up with you as a fighter in the end. Look at Ricky Hatton. History shows that if you balloon up in between fights and keep taking that weight off, eventually it will take its toll on you. And we've seen, as I mentioned earlier in the video, form-wise, Fury hasn't looked in the best form, so maybe we've seen it taking a toll on him and affecting him already. Also, with how much weight he's taken off, I thought the best version of Fury was in the second Wilder fight, where he was big, he was strong, he was heavy, and he come in and absolutely mauled the shit out of Deontay Wilder. I think that Tyson Fury could beat Oleksandr Usyk, but a slim Tyson Fury that's trying to be boxing and all nimble, I think he's playing Usyk's game there, and Usyk can actually school him if he comes in too slim and doesn't have the weight to try and slow Usyk down. Now, the third weakness is that, kind of linked to the second one, I think that Fury is going to come in and try and outbox Usyk when I look at how much weight he's cutting off and the type of slim shape he's in. Fury hasn't fought like that and outboxed someone in absolutely ages. The last time he actually did it at the top level was against Klitschko, which is about 9 years ago now. He then changed into a walk you down sort of warrior, bust you up Kronk style fighter after training with Sugar Hill, which is, in my opinion, the strong version of Tyson Fury now. I think if he comes in with that slick, trying to box Usyk style, then I think that could be a big weakness for him coming into this fight too, and I think it'll play into Usyk's hands. I'll let Rav start off. Who do you think is going to win the fight, Rav, and how?
I think Fury's going to win this fight. I think he's going to get an early stoppage in round 8, and I think he's going to stop him with an uppercut. I think he's going to come in close and really dig him with the uppercut. So he's going to throw uppercuts and body shots, and he's going to throw the body shots to wear him down so that Usyk gets tired, and then he's going to come uppercut and finish him off.
That's a bold claim. He's picking Fury to get the stoppage. I'm going the complete opposite. I'm going to go for Oleksandr Usyk on points, and I actually think it's going to be quite clear. I think Fury, the first couple of rounds, they're just going to be feeling each other out. It'll probably look quite even. It's going to be two highly skilled operators trying to download that data, seeing what the other guy looks, because neither of them have ever fought anyone like the other guy. So expect the first 2 rounds, not a lot to happen, a lot of feints, a lot of moving, a lot of stepping off, a lot of like flicking little shots out to see what they can land. But then I think Oleksandr Usyk, actually maybe I think Fury might have a couple good rounds in there, rounds 3 or 4, start to use his size, try to really up the work rate. But then I think Usyk's going to figure him out. And I think from about round 5 onwards, you're going to see Usyk time Fury as he's coming in. You're actually going to see Usyk push Fury back as well. Because Fury, the way he's cutting that weight, he ain't looking that strong anymore. I think he'll pick him off for a few rounds, Usyk. And then he'll really, towards the end of the fight, start to like really get into his groove. Push Fury back out of that southpaw stance. Loop left hands over the top. Keep flicking out the jab. Go to the body. Everybody's saying that Fury needs to go to Usyk's body. If you watch Fury fight, and especially on the pads, he's out with long arms like that. His body's wide open. So I think Usyk will break Fury down to the body as well. Give a big, strong push like he did in the last 4 rounds of both AJ fights. And I know Fury's tough. He's got stamina. He won't be able to keep up with that work rate of Usyk. And I think Usyk wins clear on points, probably about 8-4 on rounds or 9-3. Right, so that's how we think the fight's going to go, but nobody can say for this one for certain, man. It's like the Spence Crawford video we did a while back. These two guys are both so good. Either guy can win. It's hard to imagine either guy losing, but who do you think is going to win? Let us know in the comment section below, and make sure you tune in for this brilliant history-making heavyweight fight.
Thanks for watching, everyone. stay tuned for the post-fight of this fight. So if you hit the notification bell, you'll get notified. Thank you for watching.